Okay, we're on, okay. All right, welcome everybody to the Montpelier Redevelopment Commission meeting tonight. It's on June 10th. I'd like to bow our heads and start with a quick word of prayer. Father God, we just pray for direction, pray for vision, to see opportunities and avoid problems, Lord. Help us be excellent leaders and build up our community. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Roll call.
Gary Cagle.
Here.
Travis Sills.
Here.
Michael Smith.
Here.
Mayor Neff.
Here.
Mr. Yinzer.
Here.
Agenda in front of us. Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
A motion, we approve the agenda for June 10th, 2024.
Okay.
I'll second.
Gary Travis motion, Gary second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And we have the minutes as well. A motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, Michael motions.
I'll second that.
Okay, Travis second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, awesome. Okay, and first on the agenda is the payment of claims. We had $599 in ball field expenses, then $2,356 for the banners for the veterans banners. So a total of $2,956. Do a motion to approve the claims?
I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
Okay, you have a second? Gary,
I'll second it.
Gary Michael's seconding. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Got our cash balance there. Okay, first on the agenda is the fire department analysis, which is back to, do you want to go ahead and present that then?
Well, he's
Okay.
got some good news first.
Okay, well, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
We'll go down in the order here. And, okay, so, yeah, Dave Keyser is,
Okay, so met with the mayor and Bob King, the fire chief, and the township trustee, Kim Twyble.
yes.
And so Fire Station 1, next door,
Work it out.
this way,
Okay.
is in bad need of upgrade. And there are certain NFPA requirements that you need to have, and probably needs to be expanded. They're running out of room a little bit there. And so we all met on that and talked about it and decided that a feasibility analysis would probably be in order to conduct a feasibility analysis to kind of determine what the best alternative would be to either put an addition on the building or build a new building or do something else, you know. And so we've projected to do a study with regard to that project, and we would do a preliminary architectural feasibility study under the rural development requirements of instruction 1942A, and we have a whole scope of services on that, and our fee is a lump sum of $10,000. The city, we did talk to the Harrison Township trustee. She would pay half that. She would pay $5,000, and the city would be responsible for $5,000. So I'm looking for approval tonight from the Redevelopment Commission to pay part of the $5,000 for a total of $10,000 and have Harrison Township, and I'll present that to them at their next board meeting to have them pay the other $5,000.
Once we have the study, then that will allow us to go out for grants. And then, of course, that's all.
The primary document will be used not only to evaluate the alternatives of what we can do with the building, but also as a justification document for applying for different types of grants for the facility, of which you have to have a planning study.
So I'm a member of the fire department.
Yes, sir.
So so Harrison Township trustee Kim, like, she's spending her money on this when that's her building out there and this isn't her building. So that makes me think that if you bring that up, that the other members of it will possibly vote that down.
No. We went in with Kim, fire department, and the city went in for your new turnout gear.
Okay, yeah, but if we're redoing the building, that's not their building. That's not the township's building.
But it-
only that building
but-
out there is the township.
But it's a town.
She doesn't pay anything for this
Right,
building,
but
the
she,
city does.
but it's a joint city, township, fire department.
But
And
it's
so,
split.
right, and but she's willing to pay 5,000 for the part of the
She
study.
is, but is the rest of her,
She didn't think there'd be a problem.
okay, I'm just,
I know.
Yeah, hey,
So
I'm just
we
bringing it
we
up.
asked all the hard questions,
Yeah,
I
we
think,
did.
in the meeting.
but
Travis, I think we asked all the hard questions, so duly noted. And so we asked those questions, and so, anyway,
And this obviously would be a benefit to us all. I mean, the township and the city. You know, if we were able to get a grant and upgrade our fire department, that would be to the benefit of the whole area,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, it's because the fire territory is the township and the city, so. So anyway, so all I'm looking for is approval of the city committee $5,000 towards the 10,000 for the
well, maybe
study.
you can get a hold of Jackson Township in Wells County, because we cover that too, for a price that they pay us, so maybe they would be interested in coming into that as well.
Not sure.
But, it's another way to get some money,
Yeah, we could have those conversations,
yeah.
absolutely, so.
Well, it would be nice to upgrade, don't you think, or do you?
I really shouldn't say, because I'm a member of the department, so.
Okay, well,
Yeah, because I don't want to piss anybody off or say, watch this video. So,
You're allowed to ask questions.
no.
Oh, you're absolutely
I don't
allowed, yeah.
have questions, I have strong opinions, but
Yeah.
that's just me, so.
Duly noted, yeah.
I-
What do you guys think?
I guess, are you going to abstain, or is it as a result?
I'm not allowed to vote on anything
Yeah,
fire related
that's true.
anyway.
That's
Yeah,
on
that's-
council.
Oh, that's on council, that's true, it's not.
I don't know if it works the
redevelopment.
same on redevelopment.
It probably does, I would say, since you're,
If it
I'd say since it's a,
pertains to the
I would say
budget,
since it's a board, probably, I don't know, I'm not an
But then
attorney,
you
that would
can't
be
vote
something you'd have
if
to
you
run by
only have two
legal.
members.
Brad's a member.
yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Majority of the,
I think you're right.
that's what we're
You're
doing
right.
with school board. If we only have 3 board members, 2 can vote. 3.
Honest, I think we need a new truck more than we need a fire station. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, that's my personal opinion. I think the money would be better spent that way, but a new truck's gonna cost.
I think that's gonna be looked at too, a new truck
Yeah.
as well, for grants. So that comes out of a different grant.
Yeah,
And then radios came up,
well, yeah, but
New
then that's
radios.
where you're gonna look at all the money for the matching and it's just not there.
yeah, and
Fire
we,
department doesn't have it.
no, right,
And the city, I mean, if we got other stuff going on, we ain't gonna have it either, so how much money and time are we wasting doing this when in the long run it may not even, we
Not
don't
too
have
much.
the money to actually complete the projects.
So I would like to just look at the possibility of upgrading our building. I really think it would be nice to have a first grade
But
community
then, like
building.
I was saying, but if we go in, let me think of how I want to say this without offending. But if we go in everything on the park project, if we get that grant like we were going to, then you're empty on everything. Your coffers are empty and you're not going to be able to do a project if you have to do a match because, I mean, redevelopment don't have the money to put into it. I mean, what's the city going to move around? That's a lot of money
yes.
to move it around.
Well,
I mean,
I don't know what type of match we're going to need.
Yeah.
That's.
And the
But
study-
it's
the study will
gonna
tell
be
that.
$1 million projects, I mean.
I mean, I don't know if it's a 50-50 match or if it's an
Yeah.
80-20 or, you know,
Yeah.
we don't know.
Just depends on what we find as far as the grants, so.
Just
So-
play devil's advocate.
I got a question then, Travis, and maybe you can answer this.
I'll try.
So, on our last little biscuits and gravy deal we had over here a couple weeks ago, so just talking to a few of them over there and talking about the building.
Yeah.
So now they're talking if we was to get a new truck, the way the size of the trucks now would not fit in that building. until we have, is that true, or?
It just depends on what kind of truck you get, basically.
So that would be.
Because you're not gonna get a new ladder truck to put in there, that's for sure.
It won't
But,
fit.
Like a pumper tanker that we would have for this area that we would need, because you can't get a monster one to get down half these country roads, it just wouldn't be feasible.
Yeah.
But we would have to get something that would be like a combo unit that would be, I mean, it would fit that building.
I
Yes,
heard
it's-
everybody discussing it, so I
yes, it's
just,
tight
I didn't want to
over
put the
there.
cart before the horse. you
Yes, it
know?
is tight in there, but, I mean,
Well, 5,000, I think is reasonable. And I think, in fact, the township's willing to go in half with us, I think is really great, because I think it is a joint. We are working together on this project. I would suggest we go forward with it. And just see what grants we got. You know, we can figure out if how we're gonna pay for it later, but I don't think 5,000's out of line. And I think we need to get it done. We probably need a truck too. We have a lot of needs, but that's my suggestion. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and make a motion myself, since I'm a board member. So I would just motion that we go forward with this analysis to help us pursue a grant. And we can always, you know, not take the grant if it's, you know, it's not feasible. So, but I think at least we can find out.
It's a
what's-
roadmap. It's a roadmap to the future, is really all it is. So, yeah.
So. Second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I will abstain.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, so Charles abstains. Okay, all right, very good, very good. Okay, well, and Dave has some exciting news for 123 South Main. Yeah, so he's been working hard.
So, I'll pass this around and get a look at it. So, as you guys know, 123 South Main, we've got Bluffton Medical Group preparing to come in. They're getting their staff set up to put a doctor's office in. So, it's very exciting, and it's part of the Rural Healthcare Initiative for downtown areas. So what we're trying to do here in Montpelier, as well as some other communities, is try to get rural healthcare in the downtowns while doing adaptive reuse of historic buildings. So you've got old buildings down there sitting vacant, and there's an opportunity to get doctors' offices in those for redevelopment activities. So we've got Bluffton Medical Group ready to come in, and so we found ourselves needing another grant. And so we made our case to Rural Development, and Rural Development gave us another $99,000.
Isn't that awesome?
So congratulations.
Yes,
So
yes. Yeah.
glad to see that. That will be utilized for part of the front facade. It'll be utilized for part of the front facade to redo the bay window and interior improvements.
Yeah.
Okay? So that was like an 80, 20 grand, 85, 15 grand, something like that. So definitely
exciting.
got some, and you know, so far on that, we received another grant for it for $99,000 last year at this time, of which we're finishing that out with the brickwork and the windows and some other stuff. And then we received $6,000 from Indiana Landmarks at the end of last year for that very building. So we may hit up Indiana Landmarks again. So, and then we're using redevelopment TIF money for the local match on that stuff too.
Yes.
So congratulations. Yes.
Thanks, Dave, I appreciate that. But I do have a question, because
Yes.
we had came to a few of them towards the end of the last administration, but my question is what's been done up there for the structure part of it? I mean, this is an old building, the facade is, I mean, sorry, I'm just worried about, we're down below, what's up top, what's been done structurally to help up top?
What we've been doing is we're resetting the brick and repointing and repacking it. What we're doing. Foundation is in solid shape. There's no issues as far as settling or any severe cracking within the foundation around any of the windows or any of the corners of the foundation. So it's very structurally sound from a foundation standpoint. We do have some issues along with, you know, the brickwork needed to be done because when we had a really terrible roofing system on there, the water was getting down between the brick and starting to bulge out the brick. Well, about a year and a half ago, we put a new roof on there. And so that's really dried everything out. We did it for 125 and 123.
Okay.
And actually, we got a compliment from the guy that's located directly next door to the north, the building directly next door. He said, whatever you guys did on roofing is helping protect my building too, because I had water coming in, and you guys fixed my building too.
Good.
So to answer your question, a new roofing system and repointing the brick is what we're doing.
Okay.
And we redid the floor joists and all that kind of stuff too.
Okay.
So we've done quite a bit of stabilization on structural stability. So that's a great question, thanks. So,
And we've been working with Blossom Medical, even though the lease says we are there to move in August 1st. They have said that they are willing to work with us.
on whatever that
And-
move-in date is.
Yeah, because
that's correct,
they
yeah.
know that we've been applying for this grant and we're to get the money and so and they've given us a couple contractors they would like to work with, so we've been working with them too, so.
Yeah, we're going to
We
look
get it,
at
we get
3
it.
different contractors, and quite frankly, you know, I mean, a lot of small towns in Indiana are taking a hit like you guys are in your downtown area where you have buildings that are vacant. I mean, the longer a building's vacant for, the more structural issues come up like that, so, and the more it costs.
Yeah.
And so these have been vacant for a while, and so we've got to button up the envelope before anything happens to the interior of it, so, and that's in any brickwork, any work as far as the roofing system or anything like that. So,
Yeah, I gotta say, Dave is a stickler for details. He's really done an excellent job on making sure that work's getting done right, and
yeah, we ask a lot of questions,
so he's here on a regular basis and reviewing that work and
Yeah.
looking at it, so I appreciate his hard work.
Does that answer your question, Gary?
Yeah, I just never heard it discussed.
Sure.
And, I mean, we kept moving forward, but I just, we're going to dump all this money.
Right.
Even though it's grant money, whatever, but I just,
Yeah.
when you, what I want to say, when you decorate, that's fine, but decorate, don't hold your building together.
That's right,
So-
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so-
That's why we're doing the tuck pointing of the brick and all that kind of stuff, reshoring up. We've got, I mean, we had windows that were open, and we had some sort of chute thing coming out the back. We took all that off and re-bricked everything. We reset the lintels above the windows, which is a structural stabilization
Right.
technique as well. So we've reset that stuff as well into an arch, so it's been working out pretty well.
Yeah, and then in the bay window, it's gonna.
Yeah, the bay
look just-
windows for decorating, yeah, that's one of the decorative features, but again, it's needed for the historic preservation to make sure it looks like the building next door to it as well, so.
Yeah, so we're gonna make a nice bay window, because right now it's all flat, but we're gonna make it a real nice bay window. It's gonna look very nice.
But there's no timeline for completion, or we're just
Oh, yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
playing?
by the end of the year. we
By
want it
the
done.
end of the year?
Yeah, we
Okay.
want it done.
Okay.
So, yeah, we want it done. So, by the time we get the grants spent down and the TIF funds in there, we want to get that done as quick as possible to get those guys in there, so. And I'll tell you, it was in pretty rough shape. I mean,
Oh.
it's, we had vines,
Yeah,
we had poison
Yeah.
ivy.
Yeah.
The whole courtyard was full of poison ivy.
yeah,
You can ask the Amish guy that, I mean.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah,
got poison
yeah.
ivy back in there,
Yeah.
and I'm surprised the mayor and I didn't get a bad case of poison
Oh,
ivy.
it was terrible, yeah, yeah.
But anyway, we got all that ripped out,
Yeah.
and again, when you get vines into brick systems, especially in the mortar joints, it really causes some issues. But we were pretty lucky in the sense that it didn't cause any issues with that, so.
Yeah,
But anyway,
pretty
yeah.
exciting. Well, and a couple more things. We have a parking problem in front. We do not want the employees to 123 parking in front for the Bluffton Regional. We won't have enough parking for the rest of our people once we get our buildings filled. So we're going to have them park in the back. But to do that, and I don't know if it's kind of hard to describe, but that building, actually, there's a front, then there's a courtyard, then the back part should be that building, actually belongs to
125.
125.
It's like an L. It's an L. It comes straight back, and then it goes into an L right behind that courtyard, right behind 123.
Yeah.
We're gonna have them park in back and come through 120, which now it's 125.
Right.
And walk through the courtyard to get access into 123.
So what we would like to do, and I'd like to get a motion for this, is that we would make that back building 123, which I think it should have been all along, but I don't know why, but it never was. But so that way they'll, all in line, back from the front to the back is 123, instead of having 125 all around. And that way we can have our people park in the back and they can use that for storage or whatever they want to.
So what are we trying to do with 125?
Well, that's the next question, and Dave and I have talked about that.
Well,
In its present condition.
we have a couple, so that's the thing, you know, with these historic buildings. You just don't want to put money into them and let them sit. You want to have an adaptive reuse plan. And so for that building, you know, we're looking at another hardware store or a car, you know, some sort of a car parts accessory store.
But didn't both of those, haven't we talked to some of them, they
I
said it
have.
wasn't big enough?
Yes.
So if we take some more room,
Right.
isn't it gonna be hard?
Well, that's not a very usable room. I don't know if, and it's hard to describe it, but it's not a very usable room. So I don't think it's gonna affect.
Yeah, I don't think that'll kill us either way
Yeah.
on that. It's kind of an off room that is used for some storage, and I think that's really all it's gonna be.
It does. It connects to both buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it does.
I'll take you back there sometime, man. It's a hoot.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I
And
was
it's
gonna-
also, it's on a, it's actually elevated, so you have to go up some steps to get to it.
And then we have a whole theater above.
Right.
That looks, that when you walk into it, you step back into time.
Yeah.
It looks like you're back in
Yeah.
the 1913. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well,
I'd
what,
like to be able to see it sometime.
I'd love
yeah,
to see it.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, we could,
Oh, I'd love to take you.
yeah.
You'll get a kick out of the theater part
Yeah,
upstairs. It's pretty.
well, we could arrange a time where all of us could go through, or whenever, but, I guess we could table that part too, but,
Which sometimes, Brad, it's hard to vote on something that you haven't put your eyes
Absolutely,
on. you know?
absolutely,
And then
absolutely.
I feel like I'm not doing someone
Right.
else justice because
Absolutely.
I'm voting on something I really don't know anything about.
Okay,
you know?
well, let's,
recommend that you take your next redevelopment commission meeting and have it up.
yeah, there we go, put it on YouTube, yeah.
Tables.
And that might
Okay.
not be such a bad plan, so people can see exactly what it is.
Well, that's true. I guess we're gonna do that, just do it
I
on
don't
the
mean to
phone.
delay anything, but I just,
Oh, no, that's fine. I'd love to show you.
Yeah, it's not, we're not in a hurry, but the main reason I want to put that in the back and make it one part 123 is that parking. We don't want their employees to be parking up front, and parking is going to be an issue for us. And with 125, Dave and I have talked, and it's going to take a lot of money for us to do anything to get anybody of value in that property. We think that we can get back this block grant and potentially get another block grant for next year to rehab 125. So I don't think we're going to pursue any more people at this point until maybe potentially.
We get a
the block
little
grant
bit
next
better.
year.
We've got and to kind of revisit that project a little bit, we buttoned up the envelope on that pretty heavy. Especially in front and then the roofing system. We had to button up the bench walls around the top of that. They were all loose and they were gonna fall off on the guy next door, so we buttoned up all that stuff and relaid all that brick and, but there's still quite a bit more to be done, so.
Well,
These
no
buildings
sense, 'cause don't-
these buildings were a couple years away from being demolished. I mean, they
Yeah.
really were. They were.
does those buildings have chases in them for your plumbing and all that stuff?
Yes, yeah, all the plumbing's in there.
It's in a chase?
I believe so,
system.
yeah. Actually, the plumbing for 123 is in the bottom of the building next door to it.
Gotcha.
So we've got to put everything will be all up to code and everything.
Okay.
So, not sure that there's a chase in there right now, but we'll have to have that as part of plumbing code for engineers.
Well, we'll have a meeting, I guess, and all those who want to go through, we won't technically make that our main meeting, but we'll just have a meeting and maybe just bring YouTube on our
I
phone?
was actually joking.
Oh, were you? Okay, all right, well,
Or work.
okay.
But
We could, okay.
Really, it's doable.
Yeah, it is doable. Well, okay.
Phone
But
and
anyways,
wireless
we'll have
Kinda
a
show you both
time where
sides.
I can show everybody, because it's kind of
That's
cool.
all you need.
If you've never seen it before.
Just sync your phone and get a wireless mic,
Exactly.
Bluetooth.
So, yeah, it'd be kind of cool. So to everybody to see the Opera House and everything,
Yeah, but
so.
if you're 20 feet ahead of it, you ain't got.
And then see what we're talking about. So we'll arrange a time to do that.
No, sounds
Um,
good. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, all right.
Next month.
Yes, I'll table it for another month. And, okay. All right, well, next on our agenda is cameras at the ballpark. Officer Snyder has been working with Stylus on, and we've got a proposal from Stylus to do a camera system out there since we're starting to redo our ballpark. And this is security cameras. And for a security camera up there, it would be $4,836. And then also a security system for the concession stand, $1,204. Sometimes it sounds like a lot. Actually, I don't know if it does or not, but we've had 2 incidences in the last month where those cameras have been very valuable to us. Do you want to talk about it, or do you want me to?
No, go
All right,
right
okay.
ahead.
Well, somebody came and took out our flagpole right in front of our city building and just drove off. And I don't know how much that would have cost to fix, but with security cameras, we were able to catch the person, and now their insurance is paying for it. And really, they illegally drove off, so they should be in big trouble, but I think at least we got our money from it. And then we had an older woman. We just redid some of our downtown parks, and an older woman got mad at us and stomped on some of our new plants, and then was very upset when asked about it. And so then we were able to go back on the cameras and say, well, she disputed that she did it, so we looked on the cameras and she did do it. Cameras have really come in handy. So, to say the least. So I really think this would probably be a good idea for us to put a camera out at the Little League Park and a security system.
Who's gonna monitor it? Is it just gonna be recorded? When something happens, you go back, or?
Right.
Well, but we'll be able to see it live as well, as the recorded video itself. So we'll have the option for both. Is that not only do we have to concern ourselves at the ballpark with just somebody this, or somebody call dispatch, by the time we get there, somebody's gone. All the cameras downtown, live from LA. We discourage people doing that.
Yeah, that's right.
So that'll allow us to look at it real time too. We have suspicion. Set stuff
So
up.
you're gonna get the live feed to you then, Chris,
Correct.
right? Okay.
Yeah, so we'll be.
And
The camera, I know, and again, I agree with the mayor, it does sound like a lot of money, but the cameras that we put downtown, even though the infrastructure's a little different. Wirelessly, where ours are kind of hardwired, uses wireless hops as well, so that's one of the reasons why it is. But those cameras downtown will capture, not only downtown that the mayor alluded to with the things like that down there, but we captured like 6 wrecks on that. And again, had it not been for our camera system that we had, because the one here at City Hall was not functioning like it's supposed to, we would have never caught the person that was responsible for taking out the flagpoles and then drove off. That was a 50% luck and 40% good police work, to be real frank about it. But had we not had those cameras, we would have had 0 shot.
Yeah.
We really had nothing to work with.
well, I got to commend Chief Snyder for that. He did do excellent police work.
Again, I'm not going to do 40%, good police work, 60% luck is what I'll put that out. I'm very real about
Yeah.
that.
But the cameras were informative. And I think we should do cameras at every park. I mean, all
I was
the
gonna
houses
ask
were-
about,
We're supposed to have cameras for every park.
Yeah, and I think that's where we need to go.
there's a lot of stuff goes on down there at the waterworks,
Right,
or
well,
Fireman's Park.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
and again, that's kind of the same thing as,
Yeah.
as the ballpark. There's not always destruction of property, somebody trying to break in something, and after all that, all down Fireman's Park's an outhouse. Not a real high priority target for people who are, looking to, not that somebody hasn't tried to set it on fire before, but
At least the porta potty.
it's
Yeah.
definitely not a high opportunity target down there, but with those cameras, it'll allow us a better opportunity because, again, just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on down the park, is it'll be a complete tilt pan zoom camera. So we can actually move that camera to monitor different locations or set it up on a suite so that it will pick up activity in all the areas we want to point it to. So, and that's the goal at the parks too, is to set the same type of system up so we can kind of steer those cameras where we think there's a problem. If we see one, we can kind of formulate a strategy before we go just rushing in there, maybe call an extra unit to back up so they're not running through the other parts of the park to get away from us. We'll have a more real-time view, as Gary had asked about what's taking place down there. So we're hoping that the people will take heed of that and that they will just do the right thing and not mess around with stuff or do things they're not supposed to do. But they should be put on notice that if you are, there's a high likelihood we're going to catch you.
Right. I mean, just like what happened this last week. I mean, this person, I got a call, said, run up to somebody's up there stomping on your new plants. And I'm like, okay, so I ran right up there. It didn't catch the person in the act, but I did ask him. I said, hey, somebody called me and said, you're doing this. And they just lit me up. Oh, my. And with a lot of very abusive language. And person I'd known for years, always had a good relationship with, unfortunately, but adamantly denied doing anything. And we checked the cameras, and yep, they did it. And so it was like, so the cameras really helped us. And then this would be, I think we should do this. So.
Is it one camera, is it multiple cameras? Two cameras?
At the fire, at the ball diamond?
Whatever the quote is.
It's
Yeah,
just-
that's just for one.
One camera.
One camera. It's a moving head system or tilt pan zoom. So we can set that up to monitor, at the right angle, we can monitor all but maybe a small fraction of the ball diamond.
Well, then the other part is for the concession stand, where it should just be like an alarm if they ever,
Right,
somebody broke
that would
in.
be a security system, just a small interior system where the concession stand has been a high target for people in the past. Vandals want to break in there, stealing the concession pop and candy, things like that. Just, taking bags of popcorn mix, throwing it all over the place, making a mess of it.
That's went on for 50 years.
Yeah, we're just trying to change the way we approach these things. Again, trying to put people on notice that if you were thinking about it, don't. Again, because if you do, there's a high likelihood that we're going to catch you in the process. It's just something that's not been done in the past. We think with the investment that the city's made into that a little extra in the area of security, trying to make sure that there's something there for generations to come. And it doesn't become a money pit for the city to try to fix things that people are breaking. Just make good sense.
Yeah. If the two systems together, it's $6,040. One for the camera, and then the other one for the alarm system. Do we have a motion to go forward with that?
I'll make a motion to go forward with that.
Okay.
But I'd also just like to, we really need to look at the Fireman's Park as well. And
Yes,
that's-
I agree. I think, and we are
Michael,
going
I
to do
can
that.
tell you that is on the table. Again, it's a matter of working through how we do it logistically. Again, because we don't have a direct line of sight with that, we can't use the wireless hops that we use
Oh,
downtown.
yeah.
So we have to look and maybe try to use something that's, goes through the cell phones and then comes back to us. And if you're not careful, you can really rack up a lot of money. So we're trying to do the best that we can to do due diligence and trying to get the system in, but at a good cost, at a reasonable price to the people in the city doing that.
Okay.
But that is on the list along with the park down here. Yeah, we kind of furloughed that one a little bit because of the talk of a park project. So we don't want to put a bunch of stuff in there and have to go back and remove it.
Yep.
Or, buy something that's not adequate, that's an adjunct to the park project. So, but Fireman's Park is a priority now.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, Gary, second. And all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Opposed? Okay, very good, very good. Okay. Next on our agenda is football field redevelopment. We've talked about this, making our 10-acre football field into a housing development. We are definitely short of housing in our community. We do not have hardly any houses for sale right now, and we haven't for a while. I'd like to look at the possibility of making that into a housing development. First step to do that is actually you have to do an analysis, and the analysis is 17,900, and basically what that does is do a complete layout. They also do a sewer and water layout, mapping out everything we need to do, we could probably get 30 homes in there, which if 30 homes is, we had 4 residents or 3 residents a home, that's 900 people adding to our community. What would be incredible. I'd like to get this done because Hartford's actually in the process of doing that too, and they're in the process. I've been talking to Warren Brown, our Economic Development Director, and he's actively recruiting contractors to build Hartford homes in Hartford, and I would love to make this part of that as well. So if we could get this done, we could kind of get in maybe and possibly on their recruitment of building contractors. And I asked Warren about the price of this, and he said this was very fair. It gives us a geological, geotechnical subsurface investigation, off-site utility and design and capacity analysis, traffic study, easement documentation, engineering, construction surveys, and so forth. It's just, it gives us a package that we could possibly take to a builder then and say, this is what we want to have. Warren Brown, yeah, probably. I'm not sure who I said he yet, but but yeah, I've been working with Warren Brown and then also MS Consultants, who's done a lot of our consulting and our engineering work around Montpelier. MS Consultants. Yeah, that's yeah. So they are the they've been the city engineers for about 10 years now, and they're the ones heading up the combined sewer overflow right now, going throughout the community. They're very knowledgeable of Montpelier. So and not that I know a lot about this, but I've been told they're reasonably priced compared to other engineers in the area in this category.
This is multi-family housing.
Yes. Yeah, so multi-housing. Yeah, so we'd like to do that. We could. It gives us the option. We can do more. We're not restricted to that, but certainly gives us a layout, a plan that we can start with. I know. Not right now. No, I mean maybe down the road, maybe not. I don't know. Concept phase, and I know Hartford's going through the same thing. They are looking at they've got a 100-acre plot of land, and I've been hearing a lot about that, and I would really like to get in on what they're doing as well. So.
About building multi-family homes down on the former ballpark at Southside School.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay. So that's their old school building. That's
a separate.
Yeah, it is. This is where is that?
It's out on the back of somewhere on
They've got just.
What's that?
No,
Yeah, I
six.
apologize if I said it wrong.
Well, I think it is City Farm. They do claim it's a City Farm that they own, and
No, I think it's just a little ways off from the golf course.
yes, I think you're right. Yeah, you know where it's at.
Yeah.
Saying that wrong.
Gadberry connects, tees off, and
Yeah,
when you go, like if you're going to the nursing home,
Yeah.
when you turn left, the next road it tees into, that's Gadberry.
What Barry mentioned is a completely separate thing that they've redone. One specific project here. It's not Section 8, there's a different section of the law. Individual homes.
So it's an ambitious goal, I think, but I think, especially if they're already in the process of recruiting builders, I would like to be part of that.
I just look at the Hoosier, up there off Hoosier Highway, like they just did that whole development and now it's dead. There's no,
Oh.
like, they built like 2 houses, they have all the roads, all the sewage, like everything's, and there's no money to build houses because inflation and all the cost of goods and everything's up, so nobody's building. So, I mean, like, if you can't get people to come into like the Bluffton area to build new houses, and we're gonna build houses in Montpelier with nothing here, I mean, just kind of concerning.
This isn't individual houses.
Well, yeah, but still, I mean, it's not gonna be cheap to have a multifamily dwelling.
That man over that was.
For what?
happened.
Where? Oh, so, well, we're not in the country. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, I agree. It would, but it's something I think if we could pull this off, we can make it, make a huge impact for the community. But yeah, it would be a tough, it might not work, so there's no guarantees on it. I think, but this is, I think, a good first step. I think it's a good use of that property. I think that's actually an ideal spot because it's actually got plenty of water and plenty of sewer. And it's, I think, and since they're already pursuing that in Hartford, I'd like to get on what they're doing, but, because they are actively going around to contractors. But, what we'll have to do eventually is we'll have to put in roads throughout that whole area and what the water and sewer throughout the whole area. And that city will have to pay for all that before we get a, contractor come in. I mean, we'd have to obligate ourselves to that before we get a contractor come in. Want to table it for a month, or do you
I
want
need to start a consulting firm or something. Because,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
tell you the traffic study, there's no traffic down there. So.
yeah, yeah. I know, that's the reason I love that location. I think it, and
I
I'm,
think
Pay
there's
me
more than you
3,000.
think.
Yeah,
yeah.
golf carts galore.
Yeah,
Well, that's part of Montpelier.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll sit out there and watch traffic for 3 days.
Oh, it's,
Can we think about this for a month?
Yeah,
sure,
let's table
sure.
this.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Let's just,
No,
we'll table this for a
I'm
month.
not thrilled about it, but
Yeah.
that's just me.
I just think listening. Hard to move forward with any type of their development without some kind of basic plan or planning.
Sure.
You know, eyeballs.
Out to, how, or like, I don't know, we could reach out to other communities that have actually done something like this recently and had success or no success or something like that. I mean,
Yeah, we could do that. I'll ask,
I don't
ask
know
Warren about
if it's
that.
possible, but
Yeah, yeah.
It's a catch-22 because we don't have any industrial something coming to town to say, let's offer this. But then, if we don't do it, then what's gonna attract them to come anyway? So it's a catch here, so.
Well, as a realtor, I can tell you that the housing has never been more in demand than it right now. And we have,
and what's the reasoning for that though, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah.
Is it people looking for cheaper stuff that's just moving, or is it people looking for higher end stuff, just like?
A lot of them's like coming out of state.
yeah,
We're getting
Yep.
major,
We-
like the people moving from Oregon,
California,
crime.
not if anybody's from California.
They want to come to small house in their backyard.
And
Just curious
that's
what,
true.
what,
Yeah.
what the influx might be
That's a great
and what the
question,
cause
Travis.
is,
That's
yeah.
a great question, Travis.
So-
What's happening is there's a general. People from Chicago.
I know the cost of living in this area
It's
is
very reasonable.
very
Yeah,
reasonable.
and that's the other reason. The
Yeah.
housing market is as such that it's not like Chicago, where you've got high crime and high housing. I mean, they want to be in places like. And people want to be, and we got an older population. Sure. So at the time, those people are selling their single-family residential houses and they're moving into. Those are some of the trends.
Okay.
That are going on right now.
Just curious.
So, you know, and you know, it is a toss-up. I mean, I think it's how you market it, it's how you fund it, it's how you go about it. If you're a community that just sits on your hands, which you're not, if you're a community that sits on your hands, it's going to fail. If you're a community that's proactive and you've got a lot of stuff going on, it's like downtown. If you're trying to do something with downtown, you're proactively trying to market your downtown and get people in, it's going to. So it really starts out with that redevelopment. You guys, and also as the city council, the legislative body, is to implement those things to try to get them to. Know the funding agencies and the agencies that are funding, and I've got no stake in this. So
No, you're good, you're okay.
I'm just giving you my opinion, guys, of being somebody that works.
Free consultation.
Well, there you go. How about
there you
that?
go.
So whatever it's worth, maybe it's not, but I'm going to tell you that we work in a lot of different communities. I think you've got a lot of real interesting, positive things going here, and we want to try to tip that balance to more positivity and get a small town growth area where people want to live. Because you see those developments not moving because they don't have a well-devised plan. So the devised plan that for 17-9, I know you guys want to wait, you can, that's fine. But there's some timing, you know, there's grants of infrastructure in favor of housing. So that's where you can get grants for the water, the sewer, and the roads to support that housing. All about how, you know, as a redevelopment commission for the city of Montpelier, it's all about how you present this and how you do it as a package. Anyway, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, and it could be single homes, it could be multiple home, multifamily homes. You know, we could do anything really, but we just need a layout to kind of, to
Yeah,
get
it's just
going
a
with.
plan to
Yeah,
start it.
it's just a plan to get started, and like Dave said, we could potentially use that to get grants to fund our streets and water and sewer. And then we could piggyback with Hartford City then with their efforts to do their park as well. We could wait on that.
A little
Timing
more
for Hartford
comfortable
cities.
with, you know, some of the explanation. Some of the reasonings behind
Is that a
it.
motion?
I didn't make a motion, but I'm just saying, I feel it.
I did see a survey too, or a study that said Indiana gained, over the last 10 years, Indiana's gained 300,000 people. So new people, which was unusual. We're doing better than Illinois and Ohio and Michigan. So that's the reason
We're doing a lot better in Illinois.
yeah, we're doing a lot better than Illinois, which is probably got negative, but we've, that's,
hockey team.
for the Midwest, we're actually doing pretty well for attracting new residents to our community, to our state, which is causing a housing shortage. But then also, I think people are trying to move out of bigger cities. So I think
And this is a step process. I
Yeah,
mean, you lay
yeah.
out the plan, and then you try to devise, your plan for the county, and then you look at.
I'm gonna take my hands off behind my pants here and say, I'll make a motion to let's move forward to see about redevelopment of the football field.
okay, all right. Do we have a second then? All right.
Second.
Okay, all right. So, Michael seconded, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I
Okay.
will say,
All right.
I just stared at him until he seconded it, you know?
I felt it.
That's right. All right. Well,
That's how I do sales too. I just stare at them until they say, okay, I'll buy from you. That's it.
that's right. Okay. Well, there's no update on our Hagios, their school situation, so I'll let you know as that comes about. No update on our BEAD grant at this point. I've been in contact with them. They, I guess we're shooting for July at this point for to know more about that. And Baldwin Park, or the airplane park project, I have a big announcement. So we're going to unveil for first time. Actually, I should let Dave do this. He's done all the work.
Oh, no, Mayor, it's all you,
It's,
man.
am I in a good spot where people can see this? Oh, okay, very good, very good. Okay. Well, we've been talking about this for several months, and we have been in contact with Kevin Ford about renaming the airplane park to Kevin Ford Park, and basically a aerospace-themed outdoor park, which would be our play equipment. We can all get all aerospace-themed playground equipment, which is really cool. You know, jets and rockets and so forth. And but then also the shelter house would be half shelter house for multi-family use, but also half museum, an outdoor museum, which would show Kevin's journey from Montpelier person starting off at stocking groceries at Williams Grocery Store. He got his first flight from Mr. Williams, Tom Williams, who was the owner, and Tom Williams paid for his first year of flight school, and from there he went on to become a colonel in the Air Force, to go on to NASA, to go on to Space Shuttle, and then also become International Space Station Commander, which is an unbelievably, incredibly big accomplishment, and we're very proud of him. I would love to have, we're going to have that as basically a museum, an outdoor museum, half of that. So this makes it a regional attraction. This will be something that people will want to bring their kids to and show how, dream big, because this could be you. And so we're going to, that's going to be half the shelter house here, have some restrooms in the middle, and cornhole in there, and basketball courts, more playground equipment. But it'll be a revamped park. Since it's right on State Road 18, it'll make a beautiful park for our community. That's where going forward to do this. Did you want to? Oh yeah, Dave, you want to come up?
Second board?
Oh yes.
Yeah. A couple boards to show you. You guys have a handout of this too? I'll put this down here. And these are just some of the playground equipment ideas that have come up. And we have an aerospace team. We can't call it NASA Park because that's a violation of trademark. But it's an aerospace themed park within Baldwin Park. And just some ideas of what that might look like with some capsules. And we did talk to Kevin on the phone last
Last week, yes.
last week, and he loved it. We had sent this to him and a Zoom call and went through all the aspects of it. He really liked the park. So he's very
Is,
confident.
is he gonna be able to get anything to like a suit or anything to possibly donate to?
Yeah.
I know it'd be kind of tough
We
having it
did
outdoors
talk
and
about
stuff
that,
like
and the suit probably wouldn't be at the park, because if, in
You
a
don't
park,
want
if you
somebody
don't have it
stealing
nailed
it.
down,
Yeah.
bolted down, or, whatever, they'll steal it. Sorry, anywhere.
That's true.
Whether it's Montpelier, Indianapolis, or Carmel, it's gonna happen. But we thought about, and if you look at that handout, one of the things is, like we talked about on the shelter house, it would be an interactive shelter house. We would have maybe a touch kiosk where it would talk about, the different aspects of women in NASA, how they wash their hair, how they eat their meals, the training they go through, things of this nature. And then maybe also in there, we've seen the displays where they have a big screen TV. There it is. A big screen TV, and it would loop for 2 minutes and talk about Kevin Ford and the journey that he made all the way to NASA. So we really think this is a regional impact project. It's a gateway for the community when you come into Montpelier, and I think it's going to be really, really a big deal for Montpelier. I think this talk about that housing. This is the kind of stuff for economic development that sparks housing. The downtown, this kind of stuff, the downtown, the parks, all this kind of stuff, it sparks more need for housing. So that's the big impact that we're looking for.
Oh, thank you. Well, to do that, there's called a land and water grant, and they would pay 50% of this. Dave estimates will be somewhere between $900,000 to $1 million, so we would only have to pay half that. And that park needs a total overhaul anyways.
And we're still working on the cost estimate, but that's the target we're shooting for. We know that there's been some numbers thrown around. We would like to be within that range, so we're not depleting all the coffers for the center. Sure. But get what we need, from a standpoint of a regional impact.
And then we did talk to the land and water grant people as well.
Last Monday, they loved it.
They love the project, so.
You took out all the grading too, right, of the
Yes.
land,
Yeah, and we
except
took
for a
out-
couple
we-
parts by where the old building was?
Yeah, we took out the grading, we took out a lot of, the fencing, we took out the perimeter walking, jogging thing.
Are we gonna make the grass AstroTurf to go with the theme? That was a joke. I'm sorry.
Well, that's not totally wrong, because in a park in Noblesville, they actually have
There
AstroTurf.
you go.
And it's rubberized.
There you
So,
go.
we could practice,
This whole
place
area
over
would be
there.
rubber, that wouldn't it? All this orange area would be rubber, is that correct?
Yeah, that's a rubberized surface.
Yeah,
Yes, that's right.
Basketball court, of course.
Parking, some planning and some fencing and so, yeah, we tried to make it ergonomically, logistically feasible. We know that we all have an Aunt Millie, and she wants to unload her, baked potato, soup or
Yeah, so
whatever,
we would have-
off right there and bring it into the shelter house. So we don't want to make her walk completely across, because nobody wants in that Aunt Millie.
So this will be
I think it'd be good.
yeah, so.
And you guys were all, and thank you for all of you guys that showed up and had input on that.
I guess I'd like to get a motion to move forward with our grant application, so.
I will make that motion to move forward with the grant application for the Kevin Ford Aerospace themed outdoor park and museum.
You have a second then?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm excited about this project, and I'm sure everybody is. This is really going to be huge for our community. It's going to make it's going to be a regional attraction. Hopefully, the school can use it and maybe take field trips here. And
The younger ones, yeah.
I'm sorry.
The younger ones would love it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an inspiration for everybody who goes to it. That's the goal. We want to be an inspiration and also be a usable park. So.
When I heard Kevin Ford speak a couple times, he came and spoke when I was
Nice job, guys.
principal previously.
Thank you.
And one of the neatest things about this story that he shared with students was that he was rejected from NASA, I think it was a dozen times.
Wow.
He's an Notre Dame guy.
Oh, yeah.
He kept reapplying, kept reapplying.
Oh, yeah.
It's a story of perseverance. It's a
Yeah.
neat story that-
Well, that's, yeah, I don't know if you guys heard that, he was rejected by NASA 12 times before
I
he got.
don't quote 12, I know that it was multiple
Yeah.
times.
Yes.
Multiple times.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
then it's a story of perseverance. He
Yeah.
showed, he was talking to the kids when he was principal, he showed all of his rejection letters.
Wow.
Slideshow, and it was a story about perseverance. He just said, you gotta go.
Oh, it's an incredible story. I mean, just incredible, and I think we definitely want to tell it. So, that's good. So, okay, very good. I guess that's the end of our meeting. Next meeting will be July 8th. And thank you. It's been kind of a long meeting compared to other ones, but I appreciate
Sorry
everybody.
about that. Make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, all right, okay. Thank you. Well, we'll see you.
Appreciate our work.
Okay, thank you.